Okay, this case is primarily to show you two things. One is that you don't need accounting to get the accounting information. And you can also see how accounting can facilitate the same set of information in a more systematic, organized way. That's the whole idea. In fact, by reading this case, the first question is that, can you compute some of the numbers which we have? And I think many of you may be able to do that without this one. Okay, let me just quickly, briefly discuss about, describe the case and then take on the question on that one. To make this case slightly interesting, I created a small story behind this one. But otherwise, the idea is accounting. Accounting otherwise is a bit boring. In fact, many of you might have felt that how people study this subject, right? So people like me, we have been studying fairly for a long time, and therefore we created quite a good amount of interest on the subject. But for many others, it may not be an exciting subject. And we are trying to create some excitement by creating a small love story, and then the breakout of the love, and then joining together, all kind of things which we are trying to do that one. So here is out that the story goes on that one. That Ronaldo is basically a football champion, and he is the main character, the hero of our story, and he is playing very well, and that's how the game is also there. And he is very powerful player, and some of his style of striking is very popular among the lovers of this football game. And the heroine of this our story is a Susanne, who is happened to be a painter, and she's passionate about her painting. But it goes beyond painting. She also loves a football game, and of course, this our hero Ronaldo, she is a favorite for her. And because of her interest in the game and the football player and a talent of painting, made her to paint some of the best strokes of Ronaldo. And it so happened, I don't know whether it's by fate or a passion, she one day happened to be meeting Ronaldo, and as usual, she took the painting of hers, a best painting of hers, and then showing it to him, saying that this is what she painted. And of course, Ronaldo was thrilled to see the masterpiece, and got excited to see somebody who was able to paint. And he has been seeing the photograph, but that photograph is artificial. Here, someone has took a lot of strain to paint some of his best stroke, and so immediately he picked up the photograph and then signed and then gave it to her. So he basically put his signature in this painting and gifted back to her. And over a period of a time, they developed some kind of affectionate with each other, and they start loving with each other. Now, she has been selling the painting, and even though it is her own painting and it is gifted by the most loved the football player, she still decided to put it in auction, and she auctioned that one, and she got about $100,000 for this painting. And this was the highest of all her painting which she has sold. So she paid 5% commission to the person who has arranged this auction. Then she got some idea. Somehow the business is coming. The accounting has to be built in. Otherwise, this should not end as a story, right? We need to bring our business and accounting into that one. So she decided to take it forward, and therefore she established a company, and she did some market survey. One of our friend helped her to do this market survey, and as per his estimate, she will be earning about $50 million in over a period of 3 years if she is able to get some of her good painting with the signature of this player. Now, what she has done, she put that amount she got 100,000 minus 5%, she got 95,000 with her, and using this 95,000, she decided to start a company. She started a company, and then she started painting, and she started auctioning the painting all over the world. So during the year 2002, that was the time period which we are looking into that. She sold the painting in various places, and these are the amount she got, and these are the commission paid. There are about the travel, boarding, lodging, etc. There and some amount of miscellaneous expenses are there. That includes the material required, some office assistant to be paid. There's so many other miscellaneous expenses connected with that one. So these are all gone. These are all expenses basically. And things were going well. She got more interested and aspired to earn more. And the taste of money and hurry makes one to desire more and more. So she started sending some of her good paintings to Sport magazine, and these are the other income she got from the magazine companies. And all this income, again, there are some expenditure associated with this revenue stream, and that is about 5% of the sale values estimated to be an expenses on that one. Donaldo was happy seeing his fiancée development in the business of selling the painting, but he started worried. As usual, some of his there are some any story, any movie requires a villain. So there are people who are close to Donaldo. Other is also not very excited about this one. The worry was that she is making more money than the player himself. So they are not very sure how this is going to continue. So they say that one, look, better you be a partner in this venture, and you ask her to pay 60% of the sale value to you. Somehow this is not going well with her, and she's saying that it is not correct. At best, I can pay you maximum of 5%. And she started believing that the signature is good, but it's not that much great. What a painting is more important than a signature. This Cold War started, and at some point of a time, things are not going well, and Donaldo filed a case against her, and then she also filed a case against him. Then both of them moved to the court. Nearly about $1.7 million was spent in defending the case of her company, and another $1 million fighting the case of a breach of engagement. So they also got engaged in between. So there is another money is being spent on that one. Things went on for a few more months, and naturally, this has attracted a lot of negative publicity in the media and other places, and things are not going very well at some point of a time. But again, there are good people like you and me, and they started counseling both the parties, and finally they decided to withdraw the cases, and then they decided to come together again. And they got married, and she decided not to continue this painting business, and he also decided not to continue the game as a player, but started an academy to train the football players. And the company she set up was wound up, and the money which she got all donated to agencies that are promoting painting, promoting sports, not for painting, promoting the sports. This is the case setting, and we have a two questions. One is that find out the profit earned by Susanne, real life inscription company, for the year 2002, and how much of the cash the company has at the end of the year, how much it has to collect from others, and how much it has to pay to others, without doing any accounting, using the basic mathematics, you try to find out what are the values on that one. Now, the part B of the question is that try to do the same thing using an accounting equation and then prepare a profit and loss account and balance sheet. That's about the whole case. Now let me just take a few questions before we move on that one. I'm sure that some of you might have actually posted some chat. Let me just take that one. Okay, just hold on. Let me just quickly run through the messages before I proceed further. Most of these signs are hello kind of a thing. So let me now do that one. I'm seeing a big message. Okay, somebody said that it's wonderfully designed program. Everyone can relate examples. You have kept them simple but ensured the standard quality is maintained. You explained the concept. Thanks, Professor. Okay, thank you for all good things. I'm teaching management at National Law University, Jodhpur, for the past number of years, and I recently completed a program in SPX. Great. I believe you're teaching for past five years. Okay, I understand. Okay, now I think there's not much of questions on that one. Now tell me, how do we answer the part A of the question? Okay, before I get into that, I just want to mention to you, there's some of the number system which we follow in India may be slightly different from the number system followed in the Europe. And okay, Ramnath, you're not able to hear me? I'm just wondering why. Okay, I'll switch off my fan because I think that it might cause some disturbance. Okay, Ramnath then says he's not able to hear me. I'm not sure whether it's true. Okay, yeah, okay, you muted, fine. Okay, I just want to clarify, numbering system we follow, this is primarily for people in the Europe who are not familiar with the other kind of a numbering system, particularly the Indian numbering system. So here we use, I try to change now. In fact, I ensure that all my subsequent videos as well as the questions, etc., I follow international numbering system rather than the Indian numbering system. Initially, I thought that people from India will join this course more, but I now find that there are people from several other countries. So therefore, I need to ensure that what we communicate is correct. So here we use the word lakh. Basically, a lakh is written like this one. It's 100,000 is called it's a lakh, and we also write something called crores. This is nothing but 100 lakhs, right? 100 lakhs is called crores, and which is equal to this is what we write in the Indian system on that one. So yeah, 10 lakh is nothing but 1 million. So 1 million is 10 lakh. That's it. And 10 million is nothing but 1 crore, right? Okay. Yeah, you are right. 3222 like that we go, and the international is 333 is the things. So therefore, just for a few days, try to bear with me, and after that, we are now on par with the international system. So don't worry. Particularly all the final exams, etc. I use dollar and the international norms. Okay. Now let's move further on this one. So we need to now find out how much money this company has made. So how do you do that? So we know that I put that numbers here in a box here, an Excel sheet. So we'll just find out totally how much she has earned. Um, okay. So this is what our total earnings, which is about $6.35 million, is the total amount she has earned. Oh, somebody computed, Murli computed the profit is at 12.93. Very good. Let's figure it out whether it is correct or not. Yeah, we'll do that one. So let's try to do systematically. Let me try to put that one. So the total revenue through auction. There are a couple of things which you need to decide. Through auction, she got 6.35 million, right? And let's try to find out through magazine. This summation is magazine income. So we'll put that. Okay. So totally, this is what. Okay. Now I have a okay total revenue US dollar. Okay, what was that one? How do you say this is 54,000? So I get 73.54. Murli, can you tell me how you got this your value? Which is 55,54,000 is the amount you got. I'm not sure that how you got that number. Okay, only great. This is what I want to write next question. And remember, not all this amount has been collected. So some of them are collected, some of them are not collected. Do we need to take only the one which we have collected, or do we need to consider everything? That's a question to the participant. Do we need to consider only the amount which we collected? Because in the auction, we got the money. Whereas here, we have not received all the money. Maybe in the initial period, we might have got the money, but towards the end, you may not have collected the money. So what is that we need to do that? Do we need to consider only the amount which we received, or do we need to consider everything? Okay. What is the basis? Some of you said that we need to consider everything, right? Accounting policy. Yes. What is accounting policy? Can you just name the accounting policy? Okay. Khatib is saying that we need to consider only what we receive. What is accounting policy? Great. Right. Somebody said that one. Jane says that as per accrual concept. Right. Jane, why don't you make it public? So you don't you try to do that. All the participants don't try to send me privately, because you will not. The others will not be able to see your answer. Okay. Murli also said the same thing. Revenue is recognized on accrual basis, and even though it takes 4 months to collect the money, and we don't need to worry. So probably we would have collected up to August. September and November, these two amounts are not collected, but we don't need to bother. And we need to consider that one, because under the accrual basis of accounting, we consider whether the moment you made a sale, we consider this as a revenue, whether we collect the money or not. Okay, we'll come to that. Expenses part, we'll come to that. Bhargav, we'll come to that, all the expenses part. So this is a revenue. Revenue is nothing but the sales. Now we need to look into the expenses, right? So what are the expenses? Okay, somebody asked you what about the realization concept. So the realization doesn't mean the money should be realized in cash, right? The money is the idea here is that the moment you sell, you expect the money is to be realized. You are not suspecting the money is not going to be realized. Even if you have a suspicion, we need to make a provision. We need to recognize this as a revenue, And because you are having some concern whether the money is collected or not, you may have to provide, yeah, a provision for bad and doubtful debts. So that's a different issue. But we need to consider this as a revenue. Okay, Bhargav said the revenue should be 7454. I don't know why. Why, Bhargav, you said my number is a 7354, but you said 7454. Where from this another 1 million has come? Can you explain? I understand why you put that. I just want to hear from you. Okay, yeah, Sahil, you are right. You added initial 1 million included there. Do we need to include? That is my next question. Do we need to include the 1 million which has happened before starting the company? Yes, sir. There's 1 million. Where is that 1 million? Let's see that one. Yeah, here is that. The masterpiece with the hero signature was auctioned for 100,000, not 1 million. Sorry, it's 100,000. This was the highest of all the paintings she has sold. And using this money, she started the business. Now the question is that, do we need to consider this $100,000 also as an income? Yeah, right. You're right. Many of you said correctly, this is an equity. This is not a revenue for the business because the business itself was not there. It is prior to the starting the business, and therefore we should not consider this as a revenue for this one. And whatever she has invested, that need to be considered as a equity part. We'll do that equity part later, right? Okay. Now we need to look into that expenses, right? Capital is not coming from P&L. Correct. You're right. So for that, we need to now find out what is that the commission amount. Let's quickly compute that commission. So this is the auction value multiplied by some commission rates are there. Let's put that number. So these are all commissions. Let's sum it up. And we'll also sum up the other two numbers. So let's write down all these things, expenses. We have a commission, then travel related expenses, then this area. So these are the three primary expenses. We'll put down those three numbers here. I will upload this Excel sheet once I complete it. Okay, I am losing the interesting teachings. Why, Ramnath, you are losing interesting teaching? I'm not sure on that one. Okay, all right. Okay, Ramnath is having a problem. Let's try to find out. Oh, please unmute me. Okay, what's happening here? Let's see that. 1 second. Okay, Ramnath, you want to unmute you? You want to speak to me, right? I think that may be slightly difficult because with 63 people, if I started doing that interaction via audio, then there'll be total chaotic, right? Because in a typical classroom, we will see what others are speaking, but whereas in this kind of WebEx session, it may be difficult for us to monitor that one. Therefore, it's better to use the chat mode rather than this one. So please bear with us. That's not going to help us to make you in a live conversation. Maybe towards the end, I will take your question. If you want to speak, definitely we will unmute you towards the end, but not now. Okay. We'll try to add up these numbers. Okay. Let me just put it here so that it's working is clear on that one. Okay. So we have three expenses. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that one. So we have three expenses, which is a commission, travel, and miscellaneous. There is also one more expense, sorry, that we need to consider. We'll do that. The magazine also, some expenses are there. Magazine painting related expenses. That is also stated as a 5% of the total amount. And let's add that also here. I'll just change this 35. Okay. Can you maximize the screen? I thought that this is visible, but if you're still not able to see that, I will do that definitely. There are so many things I have to press parallelly here. That's the whole problem. Okay. Okay. I did that. Somebody asked, so I responded quickly. There's no problem. So we have the total. It's become too big for me to monitor here. So let me just reduce it a bit more. Yeah. Oh, it is. Oh, okay. It was better before. Okay. I think that this is the via media in between. Okay. Minimize under 100. Okay. I think this is good. Okay, let's not get into the fact of the case because these all numbers are hypothetical here, right? Therefore, it is not going to helpful if by debating whether it is 5% here is there and other things. Basically, the idea is that there's something called as the miscellaneous expenses has been given, which is some cases 5%, some cases slightly less than 5%, more than 5%, etc. So let's not worry on that one. So there is some amount has been given. Sorry, here miscellaneous expenses data is given. So that will take care of. Whereas here there is no expenses are given. We need to consider some expenses. That is what this 5% is given here on that one. So let's go with this as an assumption. Now, can we say now the company earned a profit of this much? Are there anything else we need to consider? So we have one number here. Can we say this is a profit for the company? Yes. What about court cases? Taxes, we will come to the taxes. Taxes, we are not considered, but if necessary, we will consider the taxes a bit later. But before that, let us discuss about the expenses incurred on the court cases. Do we need to consider? Okay, many of you said yes. Oh, good. I'm happy with that one. How much we should consider? There are two expenses are there. Which one we should consider? Only 1.7 million. What is the 1.7 million? And somebody says 2.7 million. What is that 1.7 and 2.7? Okay. The one which is concerning the company we should consider definitely. So we have two such things. If you look into that, we'll go down here. Yeah. Nearly $1.7 million was spent on defending the case on a company and another $1 million on fighting the case on the breach of engagement. Now, which one to consider? 1.7 we should consider, definitely, because it is concerning this company. Whereas, what about this 1 million? Yeah, I think Saran, we discussed this particular point. Because of the approval accounting, we are considering everything. We are not considering only the cash received part. When you're computing the cash value, we will consider only the amount which we receive. Okay, not to consider the breach of engagement expenses, definitely, because that is not related to the company. So we report court fee, court expenses, which is related to 1.7 million. Okay, this is what we consider here, and our thing would be now minus this one. Yeah, litigation expenses or court expenses. Okay, the other one is $1 million is not an expenses related to business, therefore we should not consider. But when you are computing the cash availability, we have used the company's money to pay for that also. So when you are computing the cash balance, we need to consider the 1 million, but it should not be considered here as an expenses for the business. Anything else we need to consider? Are there any other expenses? No? Everything is clear? Can we say that 4.30 million is the profit? Material cost? What is that material cost? Murli says it's a material cost. Let's see that one. So let's see the fact of the case. Are there anything else which we have? Yeah. So there's something 5% is there. It looks like that it's for the everything. We have considered only for the magazine related things. The wording is given such that it is. It should also be noted that other than the expenses incurred to sell the painting, Susanna had incurred expenses on actually painting the picture. She had incurred material and some labor costs, primarily assistant in painting this picture. Okay, I was wrong in my statement earlier. I said that it is already included, which is we have done it here, but we have not computed on this also. We need to look into that one. So that is on this value we have to put another 5%. So this again the fact which I actually missed out here. So I will now going to reword this as the material and labor. And this is going to be now 5% on both the values. So I'm adding these two. On that, we are computing this one. Okay, that we just got adjusted now. We have a 3989 is there. Okay, that's all the way in which we are making the assumption. I earlier made a statement saying that it is already included under the miscellaneous, but it looks like that it's not the one. It is separately given, and the miscellaneous expenses may be related to something different on that one. So let's go with the assumption that these two are independent. The miscellaneous expense is independent, this cost of sales is independent, like that one. Okay, now our substantive part is not this one. We need to now go get into the accounting part also, right? So we said this is the profit we have done. Okay. Material is not cost sales. I'm not clear. It's an expense. That's not. We don't need to worry about the cost of sales and other things. It is an expenses need to be deducted from the revenue to get the net income or a profit value. We have to do that one. Okay. Now we have a profit. Some of you are asking for taxes. There is no input given on the taxes. If there are taxes, we need to deduct the taxes here. Maybe we can say less tax. We don't know the number. Therefore, I'm just putting a question mark here. So if you know that value, we can put that value here and then compute the profit, right? I've not included that because I don't want to complicate the exercise with the taxes. Because the moment I bring the taxes, there are so many other things which are going to happen. And definitely when you go to that week 2 lessons, we are going to discuss quite a few things about on the taxes, right? Taxes we'll continue to discuss, so let's hold on for a while. Why is a breach of engagement not an expense for a company? Okay, Rajesh want to answer on that one. Rajesh, one of the things which we said is what you call the entity concept, right? Alex, you're right, personal. There's a, I'm trying to relate to the accounting concept. There's something called as the entity concept. This is the first concept which we discussed in our thing. I'm not sure whether you have gone through that part of the video, but later on, if you're not done, please go through that one. We have about 7 or 8 accounting concepts, conventions we discussed. And the first one in that is that the entity concept. Under the entity concept, the business is a different and the personal life is a different. We cannot bring them together. To give you a very simple example, suppose you are an accountant for a company, and let's say it's a sole proprietorship company or a partnership company. One of the partners come and ask you to give, let's say, 10,000. And you gave 10,000 or 1,000 money you have given from your cash box, you picked up and gave it to you. How do you account it? Is it an expense for the business? How do we account the money given to the partner? Yeah, Rajesh says no, right? So why we say it is not an expense for the business is that it is business is a different and the personal use is a different. I'll give you another example. Suppose you are an accountant for an automobile service station, and the daughter or a wife of the promoter, the owner of the business, brought the vehicle and gave it for servicing. And after the servicing is over, she simply took the vehicle and gone, and without giving you any money. What do you do with that? And you have put some material, some expenses you have incurred on the vehicle. Is it expense for the business? Oh, many of you said yes. Bad debt. Great. No, it is also not an expense for the business because there is no revenue against that, right? So what we now need to do that, it is also a drawing, correct? Right? What you say is a drawing. The drawings can be in the form of a cash or it can be in the form of a kind. Anything is possible. But now we need to say that one, this is amount recoverable from the owner on that one. Okay, let's not get into too much on this one. So to close this discussion, this $1 million she has spent on personal case, defending the personal or fighting the personal case is not an expense for the business. Okay, now we are through with that. Now let's take one of the next question is that cash. How much cash the business has at the end of the year? How do you do that? So that's slightly a struggle for us because we know that we collected this money. Advertisement money is collected fully. Only part of that has been collected. These two would not have been collected. Yeah, right? So what has been collected? You said 7.21 million. Let's figure it out. I'm not sure. So we collected up to this. Okay, total cash collected. Okay, fine. I'm not sure. Okay, 4 months is the thing. August, September, assuming August end we are done. September, October, November, December. You would have collected this also. So only these two would not have been collected. And all these expenses are incurred expenses. She brought initially 95,000 equity. That is another cash. Yeah. So we have to do a lot of things to compute the cash. Let's quickly try to do that. Auction cash. How much she got through auction? That's one. Magazine collection. Yeah, we'll do equity, right? We'll do that one. All right. So we'll put equity. She got 95,000. Oh, my numbers are going here. I'll put so that it's clear. Okay. So magazine collection this much. All expenses are incurred in cash. Therefore, we will do this one. Court expenses. This value plus another 1 million. That also she spent. Right. This is also money she would have spent. I think this is what we have to consider here. And the first two are income, inflow. So let me just add up these two here. Okay, magazine collection is also inflow. So this is a collection. And there are two expenses. $259,000 is receivable. How you got these three? You are adding it up. The question is that August. What is that we said? Let's just ensure that we are clear on that one. But they are paying her the same only after 4 months. So hopefully August amount we would have collected. Because even assuming that it has happened at the end of the August, September, October, November, December, there are 4 months are there. By December, we would have got it. So we are working on the December 31st. Therefore, yeah. So these two would be the pending amount. 1,74,000 should have been the amount on that one. So when looking at the total cash of the business, we have to subtract the cost of a personal court case also. Yeah. No, only for the cash purpose we are doing. We are not doing for the business purpose. Because ultimately, we need to find out what is the cash which you are holding. Therefore, every amount which has come to the business, whether it is personal or whether it is a business, similarly, anything which you pay, whether it is a personal or business, we need to take that into account. So probably this would have been the cash balance with us. So the closing cash balance should have been this one. Okay. Oh, we spent about close to 50 minutes to run this analysis part on that one. Great. Now, let's try to do the same thing using the accounting equation which we discussed. And you can see that it's much simpler for two reasons. One is it's more systematic. The second thing is we have done most of the groundwork which is required for that one. So it's much faster we can do that one. So we'll do that one. I guess. So we are going to write our equation. Assets equal to. Yeah, I'm going to upload it. It may take a day. Tomorrow you will get it. Maybe latest by Monday you will get this entire thing, including that recorded video of this session will be available. Expenses. Okay. This is what we have our basic accounting equation says. We'll start with that one. Now, the first thing is that the equity brought in. This is what we have done. So, cash is our asset. The amount invested is 95,000. Yes, we know that number. 5% is spent on commission on 100,000. So, we have 95,000. Then she started painting and selling. So there some revenues are there. Auction revenue. All auction revenues are cash. Therefore, the total amount is the how much auction revenue. So this is amount. Let me just do a face value. Cash, and we have a revenue of this much. Magazine revenue. Part of that is a cash, a part of that is a credit. So what we will do that, initially everything is a receivable, therefore we will put this as a receivable. The amount of the receivable is that, this is a value. And we have this much of revenue. Of this we received a substantial part of that one. Yeah, that 1 million is paid by the company, right? They're asking who paid this 1 million. This 1 million is paid by the company, but not the company's expenses. Yes, when the owner asks the accountant to pay this money, the accountant has to pay this money. Yes. Now, of this, the collection is there. So what is that we have collected? We have collected all this from January to August. We have collected. That is the 830,000 we collected. So we are going to make an entry for this one. So this is cash, and the receivables are minus this one. Okay. Now let's move further on that one. Now we need to recognize the expenses. Expenses incurred. So we have so much of expenses, right? These are all our expenses. Let's put this value here. This is cash, but remember this is minus. So we paid, and therefore our expenses are minus number here. Then court expenses. Cash 1.7 million is again minus. Then another 1 million, what we do that one? We now need, somebody asked me, someone is asking how to handle this one. Reducing the owner's equity. We can do that, but let's not do that right away. Let's recognize this as something as a receivable, right? So personal court expense. So we say cash, that's also cash, minus 1 million. And we say that it is a receivable. Right. To make this receivable different, we will say other receivables. Right. We can't recognize straight away it is a minus equity, then it will become a negative number. So we can keep that. Once the owner says that I'm not going to give you, please adjust against my equity, we will transfer that time. But at this point of time, we'll say that this is the money I've given to you, therefore I charge this money under your name, and I expect you to pay this money back to the business. If you are not paying this money, I'm going to adjust against your expenses, the equity amount. Okay. Now, are there anything else? We have done the personal expenses too. That's it. Yeah. We don't have anything else. So let's ensure that our accounting equation works good. Okay. So let's try to sum these three numbers. Okay. So 40, 84, 300, 40, 84, 300. Everything is there. Where are the receivables of 9 and 10? It automatically comes. I'll now show you. Suppose if somebody asks you what is the balance in the receivable, you will say, I had initially 1.004 million. On that, I collected this much, and 1,74,000 is the balance amount. Right? Saran is asking equity. Yeah, equity is here. 95,000 equity is there. You're asking how the equity? Because she initially sold the first painting for 100,000. Of that, 5% she paid as a commission. The balance 95,000 is with her, and she invested that money to start the business. That's how the statements are written. Therefore, we consider this 95,000 as an equity investment in the business. Now we can easily prepare income statement or profit and loss account, we call. What's happening? Alex, not sure. Okay. Again, still this audio muting is the issue. We'll try to resolve that. Just hold on for a few minutes. Okay. Revenue. Let us put that one. We have this number. We have expenses. We can list down all these expenses one by one below other. I just take a summation here. We have a profit. Since this is already a minus, we'll say this is profit. This is the same profit we have here, right? 39,89,300. That's the same number which we have here. Let's try to prepare a balance sheet. We can prepare a balance sheet either the horizontal T form or in the vertical form. We will follow the vertical form. Equity is 95,000. Add profit for the period. If someone wants, we can remove that this other receivables, that is amount payable. But let's not do that. Let's keep that separately at this point of time. We'll show this as money to be collected from the owners. Other liabilities, there's nothing. This is a summation. So we have a total. So one side of that balance sheet is now ready with us. So this is the one side of the balance sheet. I can just bolden it. Yeah. Now we need to go to the other side. Let's see what are the things which are doing. Yeah, the drawings we can consider as a part of the equity, but I'm not doing that. I'm keeping it separately for the moment. And we will figure it out how to handle that once the Susanna comes and tells us how to handle this $1 million, right? The expenses which are incurred on her behalf. We still show this as a money to be collected from her. If she gives the money, fine. If she is not giving that money, we'll adjust against the drawings. So we have now we are going to the asset side. So what are the assets which we have? Receivables. This is basically the magazine receivables. What is the balance on the magazine receivables? We just add up these two numbers. That automatically gives us the 1,75,000 as a receivables. Receivable from owner that we know that is equal to 1 million. Then we have a cash we need to compute. So we'll pick up all the numbers related to the cash. Wherever cash is there, we are just adding them up. So these are the numbers. And let's sum it up. And this is exactly equal to what we have here. We have a total. So we got that number without much of a hassle, right? So here we did a lot of demands to figure it out, but here it's very systematic. So we have an accounting equation. We started putting a thing. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Piotr. This is, we just added up everything. So when you look into that, all these numbers which are there in that one. If you have a trouble, what you can do that, you can just copy paste somewhere here. Then sort the file on this one, right? Yeah, okay, I'll come to that. So we can add them up and then find out what is the value on that one. So 29,10,300 is the value. Okay, Piotr was asking about the basic formatting. Depending on the country where you live, these formats would change. The information is not going to be different. By and large, it is same. But a typical, in American companies, if you pick up a balance sheet of the company, the asset sides are shown first. In that, cash would be the first item, and the last item would be the land. So we move from most liquid asset to most illiquid asset. And then we follow the balance sheet. Yes. In the balance sheet also, you first put the outside liability and then put the equity at the end. Again, in some other countries, particularly like in India, we start equity first, then end up with other liability. On the asset side, we start with the most illiquid asset first. Land is the first asset, and then cash is the last asset. Again, if you pick up an Indian company's banking company balance sheet, cash would be the first item, and the last one would be the land item. So it all varies from country to country. The alike says it is the same in the Europe. So it all depends on the country where you live. But everywhere, cash is shown, equity is shown, and then other liabilities are shown. But where it is reflected, maybe different between the things. So we need to learn. This is simple, right? In the US, you used to write on the right-hand side of the road with your steering vehicle is also on the left side. Here in India, we have a right side, the steering vehicle, and we drive on the left side of the road. So these are all the basic differences which we need to learn between the countries. Okay, now we close this the case by saying that one. Now IFRS again, the format is given, right? But again, the individual each country will basically write another regulation which is consistent with the IFRS. For example, in India, we pick up an IFRS and we write another equivalent of IFRS regulation called IND-AS, Indian Accounting Standard. And there may be a minor variations based on the country's requirements and the records. But by and large, the information is the same. Let's not worry on that one. As we move forward, we are not going to worry about these mechanics of accounting. we are going to spend more time on the analysis part of the accounting. So for this is for the time being, we need to discuss these things, but ultimately these are all more of a knowledge sake, but this is something which you need to know, but not to be bothered about in the long run. Okay, so we got that number. Now I'm opening up for the questions. If someone wants to, and now I think I'm not. I'm just opening up. Okay. Yeah, I'm back. Someone, I forgot his name. Let me just, there's so many people. Let me just see how many, 53 people. At some point of time, I saw 60 people are there. I think yes, logged out. His name is not here. Okay. Yeah, anyone wants to speak? Please go ahead. How to pronounce my name? Okay, great. You call me MSN, that's much easier. Otherwise, my name is Narasimhan. But people, even in campus, call me MSN, which is much shorter. Microsoft Network is easy to remember. Oh, great, Palani. Thank you. Okay. Remember, the next week case will be much more interesting. In fact, we are going to bring a lot of real life companies' data, and then we are going to discuss. Therefore, please visit. I want to just make these things familiar to you. But this case, in my opinion, is not that much very great, but except the basic understanding. So please come next week and put some remark in a discussion forum so that the others also get encouraged to log in. Yeah, we'll try to do that every Saturday. Regarding the timing, I'm not sure about. We have been trying with several ways. We used to do in the morning, but some people say it's not suitable. They're all saying we are going for a job. Then we moved into the evenings now. But let's figure it out. On Saturdays, I'm completely free. I can do it anytime. So we'll keep it in the evening to start with. If required, if participant demand is there, I can repeat the same session on Sunday also. There is no problems for me. Okay, 7 a.m. here, not so earlier. Okay. Saran, you want to meet me personally, you're most welcome. There's no problem at all. Please do come. Send me a mail and then come. Okay, you want to be on Sunday? We'll do that one. What we'll do that, we'll try to keep one more session, repeat session on Sunday at a different time. We'll try to figure it. Probably I'll take a poll and then try to do that one. Yeah. Not this week, because I'm not sure. Because anyway, you attended today. That's good, right? So next week onwards, we will try to do one more on a Sunday, right? Okay. Great. Thank you. I think we are already 6:10. I'm just stopping the session. I will, in fact, in the earlier weeks, we have actually, earlier courses we actually uploaded. Just requires a day because the people have to work on Sunday and then get it ready. And we'll do it tomorrow, right? Thank you. Oh, my email ID. I've been mailing you. Okay, I think that my mailings are coming from there. This is my email ID. Oh, on. Okay, I need to put everyone. Sorry, all process plan. Okay.